Hello and welcome to everybody. OCG is again here, and I got to say thank you for writing those lovely thread about Karatekas in MMA. I'm just thrilled with that 11 wonderful names and so on. So OCG, you can talk a bit about yourself. I guess our fans already know about you, but you can say additionally, and I will ask you some very good questions about your thread. Go.
Of course, it's very good to be back here, and for those who are joining the first time and didn't see the previous ones, you can find them on his channel. They're very good, so I recommend checking out. And as for all of you, you probably know me. My name is Classic Gamer, and my channel is for Let's Plays, video game discussions, and so on. So if you are also interested in that, feel free to check out.
Alright, OCG, I know you are the greatest fan of Japan outside of Japan, we already know that, and of course I am quite shocked with your MMA knowledge related to Japan, of course, because those Karatekas I haven't, to be honest, two of them I haven't heard of them, so okay, maybe it's a shame, but I really didn't. Number 11, why did you put Sam Greco on the list? The man had only five MMA bouts, and don't you think this is too little experience?
Man, who pulled out the win against Heath Herring? He deserves such a huge attention. Karateka with knees from heel and outstanding striker. I only think he should let Shungo Oyama defeat him, but he's an awesome fighter, but of course the Japanese, you know.
Oh yeah, you have to defend the Japanese despite Sam Greco is a karate, which is a Japanese martial art. You have to defend the Japanese.
Of course.
Yeah. Let me guess. Number 10 is Sammy Shield. Okay, let me guess. Awesome front kick from Kyokushinkai Karate.
Of course, man. He used his reach advantage like a pro, and even with his opponents to sleep via jab, he destroyed Pete Williams. Sammy is one of the greatest karatekas ever. Oh, this is not MMA, but do you remember he wins over Mark Hunt and Badr Hari? His kicks are perfection.
Okay, now let me remind you one thing. Sammy Shield crushed many people from Japan. I thought you loved Japan.
Of course I do, but we must not forget that Sammy, even if he's Dutch, he's a very skilled karateka. Karate originates from Japan, and we must acknowledge success of anyone who masters it good, even if it's not someone from Japanese origin. With managing to defeat Japanese fighters, he proved himself worthy of what he mastered.
Oh yeah, I guess I was expecting such an answer, but alright. Jeff Jocelyn, okay, I'll be honest, I haven't heard of Jeff Jocelyn, and I'm surprised you put it here.
Oh,
why?
Well then, if you haven't heard, let me remind you. 5 UFC wins, 5 knockouts, Wadoryu, or should I say Japan rules!
Oh yeah, Japan rules, your favorite statement. Now let's talk about Seth Petrozelli. This is an awesome name, but would you like to describe me the reasons why you put him to the fore?
Oh, of course. Well, the man who TKO'd dangerous street fighter Kimbo Slice, I think he pulled a big upset. Also, you mustn't forget his victory over Dan Severn. Many think he was the greatest wrestler, but he was helpless against wonderful Japanese martial arts.
Rory Markham, oh come on, he's an actor.
Oh, no. He is a karate master. Despite he moved to Kempo later, majority of his strikes come from Kyokushin. Let me remind you, Mike Pyle, punch, and Brody Farber head kick are clean karate strikes created in Japan.
Yeah, created in the best country in the world. Should I say that again? Katsunori Kikono, well, I know one thing about him. He has background from karate and judo, and he kinda reminds me, you know, on your fighter, which we made on the game, Katsunori Kikono has very similar strikes to him. If we say no to spinning heel kick, yeah, very much strikes are similar, and I guess he deserved his spot, but you didn't put him so high, why?
Well, of course, two traditional martial arts from the greatest country in the world. I was thinking of putting him in the first place, but he's not a UFC champ. I don't know if you remember his palm strike KO against Takafumi Ito, but in the case you don't, this is an example of 100% karate accuracy.
Now the next name, Yuki Kondo. Yuki Kondo is a bit much controversial guy, and as well as you know, he has I think 103 fights under his belt. And in one of our previous episodes, you described pretty much that the Japanese longevity is stunning, that they live for a very long time, train for a very long time, do such things, and they eat and so on. You were talking about that, but
yes.
I noticed one thing with Yuki Kondo. The majority of his fights were decided via decision. And when we talk about decision, Yuki Kondo maintained the same pace for 3 rounds, man. His cardio is outstanding. How is he doing this?
Well, modern samurai from Shorinji Kempo Karate. He's a guy who honestly likes his martial art. The most experienced man ever with 103 fights. He's the real ambassador of karate in MMA. About his cardio, well, Kondo confessed on one occasion that he runs uphill sprints regularly. It is the reason his cardio is always great, I think.
Yeah, I guess so. Now we come to the controversial guy. Sorry, but I know Masger is a guy, got a popular guy, but until you wrote about him, I haven't heard of him. But yes, I did when you wrote. So Guy Masger is in the spot 4. I've googled about him and I've noticed he's an American. So why did you put an American who didn't last for a long time?
Oh, no, he did. UFC 13 champion and King of Pancrase openweight winner. Did you even look at his punches? Pure Kyokushin Karate. He is 6th dan a black belt.
I didn't know that, thank you for the info. And now we came to Mr. Bas Rutten. Bas Rutten is a very known fighter with amazing wrestling skills and so on. Okay, yeah, he comes from karate, but I think, if I remember well, that he out-wrestled many of his opponents, correct me if I'm wrong, and I think he's a Dutchman?
Well, you're right, but did you pay attention to his liver strikes? He knows to land that nasty uppercut. It's a real karate background, man. Don't forget those nasty leg kicks and palm strikes. Have you seen the way he kicks? It's highlight real karate, a Japanese martial art and a former UFC champ. I mean, proved Western guys the real power of karate.
George St. Pierre should have been in the first place. He was UFC champ for a very long period of time, and as well as I know, I think he had 10 or 11 welterweight title defenses, and he even won UFC middleweight title, 2 division champ. Why did you put him on the second place?
Yes, but he was great and the UFC champ, but his strikes are a mixture. I mean, he's Kyokushin and Shidokan a black belt, but look at the other side. There are many modifications. You can't call him a clean karateka. He had striking power, but the most of his battles were finished on the ground. By the results, yes, he was the best, but his strikes are a mixture of Western and Eastern world. And you know, I prefer Japanese-oriented fighters, people who stick to Asian style and tradition.
Well, yeah, it kinda makes sense. But now your choice in the first place, it kinda shocked me. Okay, he's a great fighter, no doubt about that. It's Lyoto Machida. I mean, I love watching his bouts. I so much enjoyed his bouts. But you put a non-Japanese guy who was born in Belém, Brazil in the first place. Why?
Oh, no, you are absolutely wrong. Maybe he was born in Brazil, but his father, Yoshizo, moved to Japan, and Lyoto was just born in Brazil. He has 100% Japanese blood in his veins. Now, let me remind you, Rashad Evans karate punch KO, Mark Munoz karate left kick KO, Randy Couture crane kick KO, Vitor Belfort front kick KO, Charles Zonen flying knee to the face KO, Rich Franklin front kick to the face KO, and epic Ryan Bader straight punch KO. Have you seen his stance, movement, techniques? He's the greatest, the best, and only 100% karateka in MMA. The man who honestly defends honor of Japan.
When you reminded me of Ryan Bader, yeah, I remember this epic punch because when those liars strike my channel, you, on this strike, you remember, you defended that strike and you said, oh yeah, this is a great strike from Lyoto Machida, I'm going to defend it. It was the attack on Ryan Bader which was put strike on my channel, but you successfully defended it. And now, one thing about Lyoto Machida, okay, fine, but you know, many fighters, for example, I'll tell you one thing, for example, Misha Tsirkunov, he is a Russian, but he fights under Latvian flag because he comes from Latvia, he was born in Latvia, okay, but now he also takes part in Canada and so on, but he chose to have both flags. Lyoto Machida fights under Brazilian flag. I mean, it's kind of weird, you know, you say he's a Japanese, okay, but your comment?
Well, so what? The important thing is that what you carry inside your heart. Japanese strikes and Japanese mentality. Hard-working guy who always fights until the last bell and never surrenders. Japanese mentality and style are important. And passport, it is the one thing. Personality is something completely different. He turned 41 and he still fights.
Okay, we spoke about it later and you liked it on my Twitter when I shared my thoughts on Kyoji Horiguchi versus Ben again, and you remember that I pretty much vouched your name. I yelled your name and I said hats off to old classic gamers. So what are your thoughts on Kyoji Horiguchi versus Ben again?
I think he'll definitely kick Ngen's ass in the first minute of the very first round. It happened.
Horiguchi versus Caldwell, well, they had two bouts, but man, in their second bout, when I was watching their first, man, it was a hell of a height advantage.
Man, I told you he'll be a double champ. I even called you at 5:30 AM to confirm you this wonderful news. Kyoji won him 2 times. It just speaks on his size. Now let's answer the size advantage. Kyoji is 5 inches smaller, but as always, when case with Japanese, size does not matter. Japanese are very tough and agile, and that is their advantage, even if they have disadvantage in size. They train very serious and never give up. Their determination is higher than any physical height.
Kyoji, if I remember well, he comes from karate background, right? And you didn't put him on the list. Why?
Well, his strikes are not 100% karate. Despite he's an honorable man, yes, he is the second dan black belt in Shotokan karate.
Alright, now one controversial question. Man, do you have some kind of mind connection with Kyoji Horiguchi? Because when you said he'll defeat Ben Nguyen in the first minute of the very first round, it happened. You said he'll defeat Caldwell via decision, it happened. So, do you and Kyoji maybe exchange numbers? Do you have some mind connection? Do you have some, I don't know how to ask you, but it's kind of weird, you know, it's your favorite fighter after Takanori Gomi, and I don't know, can you please discover us your little secret?
Well, something just came to me, and I was like I was just thinking, and something just in my brain, it just came, and I was like, aha, he will be victorious, I just know it. Some sort of intuition just came to me, and he's Japanese after all, so it would actually be surprising if he did not win, not that he wins. So for me, this is not a big deal that I was able to predict it. Something just came to my mind, and I was like, okay, it's a Japanese, of course he's gonna win. It would be very weird if he didn't do it. So, as you know, Japan rules.
Oh yeah, I know, but I got to say that Kyoji is now the first Japanese guy who won Western title. So he's a Bellator champ, and he's a Rising champ. And if that line bullshit had Dana White, of course, lets him fight in the UFC again, maybe he will win UFC title in the future. Your thoughts?
Well, he was robbed once. I believe if referees are gonna be honorable, again, when he was fighting against Caldwell, they were just amazing. And I hope that the same referees will judge his UFC title, because if they do, there's a high chance he will succeed, because honorable referee is very important.
Yeah, I agree with you about that. Now, unfortunately, Yoshihiro Akiyama's ONE FC run didn't kick off well, and you know that he was outlasted and defeated by decision to Agilantani, a Malaysian superstar. So, I got to say, these were honorable Japanese referees judged that match, so I guess you have nothing to say on that. But do you have some comments on Yoshihiro Akiyama's performance?
Well, I must say that Yoshihiro, despite losing, he did not disappoint me in a way. Let me explain. He fought 3 rounds and he truly tried his best, but it just seems that Tani was too tough of an opponent for him. It can't always be a victory, but even when losing, Akiyama put up a good fight, and I still respect him a lot as a fighter, because he gave his maximum.
Oh yeah, I kinda agree with you. I enjoyed looking that bout, and of course I vouch for Akiyama, because I kinda had the feeling that he'll win, but you know, son, you can't win every single time, but it was a wonderful bout. And now I'd like to thank you for being my guest again. And do you have some ultimate message for someone who loves Japan? I mean, there are many people, I'm sure, who love Japanese MMA fighters. So, what is the thing? Do you have some message for anybody who watches it? Would you like to say something else that I didn't ask you?
Well, first, I would like to thank a lot to MiddleEasy.com for writing about Kyoji, and I really think that it's a great article. I will share the link in description on my channel, and as well you can check it out on his channel. And I think it will be very great reading for all the fans of Japan, especially. And I have a message that karate is very great Japanese martial arts, and that I really hope this video will maybe stimulate some of the people to explore on their own, to watch these matches online, to comment about it, and to just explore these fighters. And who knows, maybe you'll find some of your favorites after listening to this and after reading the article. I think it's very great, and hopefully it'll help some people to recognize that maybe they also like it. Maybe they want to try training karate. I mean, it's also popular as a recreational sport for children if they want to start some fighting, and it's just it can be very interesting, and hopefully this video opened eyes for some people. Thank you again for having me here.
Oh, thank you, CG. I just hope we will have a great cooperation in the future.
Oh, of course.